Welcome to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. Join us each week as we go inside Forest Park basketball with head coach Drew Messmer. Now for the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, last week you took on Princeton on Friday at home and you played at Gibson Southern on Tuesday. Why don't you recap both those games for us?
Yeah, that was our final home game of the season. We knew going into that game that they would present some challenges with their length and their athleticism and their quickness. And they, Lamar does a great job with those guys, getting them prepared, and all that stuff. So they came in expecting, knowing what we were going to do and just kind of made it hard on us to get anything going offensively. They jumped out to a 13-7 lead on us at the end of the first quarter. We were able to put together really our only really solid offensive quarter in the second, where we were able to score 16, but we were still down 23 to 29, I guess it would have been at halftime. And we really struggled dealing with their length. As I said earlier, we didn't fall from the field as what we had been. We did shoot 38% from three, hitting, but unfortunately, we really struggled, from shooting at the rim, and with their length. So, did a better job of taking care of the basketball and whatnot, which we've done that now for several games, which is a positive. But you've got to step up and hit shots, and we can't allow them to go out and shoot above 50% and get 60 points if we're struggling on the offensive end ourselves. Those dudes, they have a bright future down there. They don't play any seniors. Their two leading scorers are sophomore and a freshman, and those guys are really talented. They got a couple junior twins that are just really athletic and can make some plays. Offensively, we were led by Reed Howard. He had 18 points and rebounds. That was his third or fourth double of the season. So he had a nice game. It was good to see Jackson Lee can hit a shot and just get more comfortable and more aggressive on the offensive end. So it was just one of those games where we could not establish any sort of offensive momentum. And any credit to Princeton as well. When we tried to trap those guys, they were able to convert for some easy buckets. So we could really put pressure on them to get the ball back. And we fell a little bit short, 60-47. Fast forward to this past Tuesday, we played down at Gibson Southern, played against, Mark Rohr and those guys. This is when he gets his guys to excel, around this part of the year in terms of their defensive effort. Once again, it was good to see him coach with him at Southridge. I was his JV coach his first year there. So it was good, chatting up with him before the game and whatnot, and just kind of talking about the season and I talked about after the game and whatnot. So just good to reconnect with him again. But as I said earlier, as always, Mark's got his guys defending at an extremely high level at the end of the year, heading in March. So we struggled again offensively. We were down 17-11 going into the half, and we were only able to put together 41 points, which is, a bottom 5 point production for sure from the season. We shot 3 for 18 from the 3-point line and only shot 34% from the game. So, when you miss 31 shots and only grab 5 of the offensive rebounds, it makes things really, really tough as well. But they were fundamental. They don't miss box outs, and they were able to get, shots that we were getting earlier in the couple weeks ago, a drive and kick situation where we're taking a set jumper. He was able to get his guys to take away our space very, very quickly, and they closed out on our shooters, as well, better than anybody that we've seen all year. I can tell you that. I mean, everything was a really heavy contest to the point to where I felt like we took 10 to 12 shots that, we really shouldn't be taking because they were able to cover so quickly. So as I said, we really struggled from the field. Reed Howard, he had 18 points and 6 rebounds in that game, but it took him 16 shots to get there, which is just, he hasn't had a shooting performance like that for a little while. And once again, we got a really nice contribution from Jackson Leakin again. He had a couple assists, couple rebounds, had 3 steals, had 6 points, just continuing to grow and get better. And another guy that came in kind of the last couple games has been our sophomore Bryce. He had a really, really nice JV season. I think he led the JV in every major statistical category, so points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. He's leading them in everything. So with Partenheimer being out the past couple games with a little bit of an ankle injury, Bryson Prick was able to step in and give us some nice minutes, grabbing some rebounds and just he has a little playmaking ability, so he was able to get his first varsity basket in that game as well. So that was good to see. Defensive effort against those guys was really good. We actually forced them into turning the basketball over 20 times, which is unheard of for a Mark Rohr team. They typically, you're lucky to get them to turn it over 10 times. So we were able to create some pretty good ball pressure just with having a little bit more speed in our lineup and flank. So that was definitely a positive, I think, going into the sectional. But a little disappointing to have played as well as what we have, and then drop our last 3 games here of the season. But with Bryson being out, it kind of created a different dynamic, and we had to change what we were doing yet again to kind of fit our personnel a little more. So, I think that we've recognized things that we have to fix. Out of our motion, we've got to have better timing and try to attack the paint a little bit harder with our cuts. We've just been way too perimeter oriented. So, these last 2 games playing 2 really good defensive teams kind of highlighted some things offensively that we've got to work on for sure. So, just more learning lessons for these guys for the week that matters. I told our guys we just finished playing our 23 practice games, and now we're where it counts. So hopefully we've learned and retained what we need to going into next week.
And speaking of Princeton, first of all, I wouldn't want to predict the winner of the Washington sectional, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones that came out of that.
Absolutely. I mean, those guys are, they're the real deal. They just knocked Herod Chills off down at their place Tuesday, I guess. And I had talked to the freshman coach, Herod Chills, John Becker, yesterday, and I just told him, I said, I knew that sectional was going to be good, but I did not think it would be anywhere close to as good as what it has actually ended up being. You know, Washington's really solid, definitely ahead of schedule. Obviously, North Davies and Harris Childs playing well. Southridge has certainly overachieved by several wins. I mean, Pike Central is a legit contender. You know, that is a deep sectional. When originally I thought it was maybe a 3-horse race to start with. Now I can see 6 teams winning that thing.
And we'll be back on the Drew Messmer Show after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Messmer Communications.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
At MAD, we believe in zero. 0 fathers who aren't there for bedtime. 0 mothers who miss the first day of school. 0 children who never come home. We believe in 0 victims of drunk driving. With MAD, your support adds up to 0. Because we believe in a hug on the first day of school. We believe in another bedtime story. We believe in no more victims. We believe in 0.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to this week's Drew Messmer Show, and we're joined by the sports director of the Ferdinand News, Brian Bond. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing really good. You know, the Raiders, I told Coach Messmer last week, I think that whoever draws the Rangers aren't going to want to draw the Rangers because I think they're a pretty good team right now, you know. And but last night they fell to Gibson Southern 51-41. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, to be honest, you know, they didn't shoot the ball real well. I think I had them around 35% from the field. Coach didn't feel like they shared the ball quite as well as they had been, and they took a lot of contested shots, which Gibson Southern, you know, wanted them to do, and they just, you know, never quite found an offensive rhythm. I think they were 2 of 12 in the first quarter, 6 of 21 in the first half. Still trailed by only 4 at the halftime at half, but just never quite, you know, found that rhythm where they could kind of get over the hump.
And, you know, last Sunday was the sectional draw. Sectionals in Tell City this year. And what can you tell us about Forest Park's draw in the sectional?
Well, you know, I feel like from just a specific draw standpoint, they had to be excited. You know, they had beaten, you know, Crawford County the first game of the year by 21 points. You know, if they are able to beat the Wolfpack again, they would play Tell City in the semifinals. They beat them by 50 early in the season. Obviously, South Spencer being 20-1 at this point is the sectional favorite. You know, they drew opposite South Spencer. They wouldn't face them until the sectional championship game. You know, so, you know, when you get to the sectional championship game, you never know what can happen. So from a standpoint, I feel like they're excited with the draw they have. They just have to go out and execute and get to that championship game and see what happens.
With South Spencer and North Posey and Perry Central on the better part of the upper part of the bracket, they've got it like that.
Yeah, no doubt. South Spencer's had a tremendous season, but they could potentially have a tough game with North Posey. I mean, they handle them in the regular season, but sometimes the tournament's a little different. The pressure may be a little bit on South Spencer this year just because they are ranked in the top 5. I think the last week's poll they were ranked 3rd. They are 20-1. I think everyone would certainly consider them the sectional favorite. So when you're the favorite, sometimes there's added pressure there. So they'll have to perform to get to that championship, and and you wouldn't mind seeing them go through 2 tough games before you had to play them, and that's the situation Forest Park's in, if they can get to.
And we'll be back on the Drew Messmer Show after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Miller Communications.
And Zoe Becker
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
And we're back on the Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, last Sunday was the sectional draw. You guys are playing in sectional 48 at Tell City. Tell us a little bit about your draw and how you feel about it.
Well, I mean, our draw was, fairly favorable. I would have to admit, they put us on the other side of the bracket from the two teams that have a winning record in our sectional. So, that is a big deal. Especially, you've got to show up and win 3 games in a row, and we've not won 3 games in a row all season. So we needed a little bit of luck on our side to get us a draw that was going to allow us to have an opportunity to cut down the nets on Saturday, and I think that we got that. There's 2 teams that we've played this season. They've both certainly gotten a great deal than when we played them. I mean, Crawford was our first game of the season, and Tell City was our 3rd game of the season. So we haven't seen them for 3 months. We're definitely not overlooking it whatsoever. I mean, that's been addressed with our kids over and over. That they have to continue to work hard in practice, and they have to show up and play a really good game on Tuesday to have a chance to move on to the next round. But it's a game that our guys do have some confidence with. Or a draw that they have some confidence with, just from the standpoint of it's 2 teams that we, had beaten earlier in the season. So, we're looking forward to the opportunity that we've been given, and these guys just have to, take advantage of it. Just because you have an opportunity doesn't mean you're going to succeed with what you're playing. So they've got to put the work in for sure.
And you played a sectional that has people in the Central Time Zone and Eastern Time Zone, and you're going to be playing in Game 2 against Crawford County on Tuesday. What time will that start our time?
Well, they actually, because North Posey's playing in the first game, and they're on Central Time, obviously, they aren't able to get there for a 6:30 tip. So the first game isn't starting until first game isn't starting until 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So by the time, they give us the full 20 minutes to warm up, and everything else, I mean, they're telling us the approximate tip time is 8:45. And I would be a little bit more concerned about that if we weren't in that position before, but I believe we've had 2 games that had started, close to that time. I mean, Mount for sure did, because that was a 7 o'clock JV tip. So, we have started games around that time already. Otherwise, if our latest tip was say 8 o'clock our time, I would be getting a little worried about that 8:45 tip. But I think that's something that our guys have, done before. And when we played Mount Vernon was one of our better games of the season. So I'm optimistic that with the late start time, we'll able to be successful.
Well, seeing how, in game one we saw Spencer versus North Posey, whose decision would it be to possibly flip-flop those games? It seems like it would make much more sense for you guys to play first.
Yeah, the idea was presented in our sectional meeting. We would have had to contact Brian Lewis with the IHSAA, and they probably would have allowed that to happen. But there again, had we flipped it, I think North Posey had said that they would be in a situation where if games started, it's an hour and a half drive, I think that they wouldn't be getting home until like 11 o'clock. I don't know. I guess either us or them getting home at like 11 o'clock. So it really didn't help. It wasn't beneficial for everybody, is what I'm trying to say. So it was certainly brought up. It wasn't really going to work with their travel distance being as far as what it is.
And, maybe I should have been on the meeting because I don't know, is Crawford County on Eastern time?
They are. Yeah.
So actually they could have moved your game up into basically an Eastern time zone, early start.
Correct.
And, it seems like it's a situation that could have been worked out. So. Yeah, no,
I mean, there was a possibility that they could have done that. It just wasn't something I was going to argue with by any means. I'm hoping that our fans, come out and support our guys with being a late start. But I mean, I completely get it. I mean, everybody involved in our district, they'll be getting home at 10:45 or whatever time it is.
Well, Coach, is a single elimination tournament, so the first order of business is Crawford County. Good luck against Crawford County.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you're listening to the Drew Messmer Show on Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Million Roseburg Communications. We'll talk to you next week.
Amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild. He just won the game. Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.